Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with This Guy. I'm your host, Guy George. Today, I am going to be making a super duper yummy comfort food. I am going to be making red beans and rice. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. Let me set up my ingredients and I'll be right back with you. So these are the ingredients I'll be working with today. I've got my red beans that I soaked overnight in water. It's the best way to do them, soak them overnight. I've got my anadole sausage, a couple stalks of celery, a green pepper, medium-sized onion, 3 cloves of garlic. Got some Slap Your Mama seasoning, black pepper, salt, Bailey's, thyme, chicken broth, and a smoked ham hock. I need to get all my vegetables cut up. When I have that all ready, I'll show you what I've got. Alright, so I'm back and I've got everything chopped. I've got my green pepper, my onion, my celery, and my 3 cloves of garlic, and my sausage. I've cut the vegetables up in small pieces. You don't want big pieces in your red beans and rice. You almost want them to disappear into the beans, but leave the flavor. So I'm gonna get my stove heated up, my pan heated up, and I'll show you what I do next. So what I have here is just a couple drizzles of olive oil. I'm heating that pan up and I'm gonna put my sausage in. Once I get this cooked down a little bit, some of that fat rendered out of the sausage, and it starts to brown up a little bit, I'll throw in my vegetables and start cooking those up. Smell that sausage. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. When I get that done, I'll show you the vegetables. Alright, the sausage is cooked up enough. I'm going to start adding my vegetables. Got that green pepper. Onion. Celery. I won't be adding the garlic in until these are finished sauteing. Get those mixed up good. You want to saute these vegetables, these peppers and onions, until the onions are nice, soft, and translucent. It smells good. And I do have this on a medium-high heat, if I didn't mention that before. So I've had this cooking down for a good 2 minutes. And what I'm going to do now is add my dry ingredients. In here, I have 2 tablespoons of Slap Your Mama, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and I'm not adding the salt yet. I do that towards the end when the beans are done. I'm also going to be adding in there 3 bay leaves. And 3 cloves of garlic. Now you don't want to cook the garlic too long before you put your liquids in, because it does burn and turn bitter. As you can see, I added the smoked ham hock. I've got my liquids ready and my beans are ready. What I first start out with is a whole container of chicken broth. A lot of people just use water. I like to use both. It just gives it that much more flavor. Now I'm going to add the beans. Now this is 2 pounds of beans. I'm probably only going to use 1 pound of them. Maybe 1.5 pounds. And then I'm going to pour in my water until it covers them. I'm starting with 4 cups. All right. What I'm going to do is turn this up to high. Bring this all up to a boil. Then I'm going to reduce the temperature to simmer. Now that this is boiling, I'm going to let it boil for 10 to 15 minutes while watching it, because the starch in those beans will cause it to boil over. So I'll watch it, I'll keep stirring it, and then in about 10 minutes, I'm going to turn it down to simmer, and I'm going to let it stay like that until they're done. I'll be adding water throughout this process because I don't put a lid on it. I want it to reduce. I want that gravy from them beans to get thick. So when I get to that process, I'll show you what I've got. So I've let them boil for about 10 minutes. I reduced the heat, and I'm going to let them sit like that and simmer for another 2 hours. Along the way, every 20-30 minutes, I'm going to stir them. And if I have to add water, I'll add water, but I leave the pot uncovered so that it reduces down, like I mentioned earlier. Now this has been simmering for about 40-45 minutes. And as you can see, it's already reduced down a lot, and my beans and ham hock is starting to become uncovered. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more cups of water. stir. Oh, it smells so good, and it's looking good. I like scraping the sides. That's all flavor right there. You see how nice and brown that gravy's getting? Right about now is when I would be adding my salt, but I did a little bit of a taste test, and with the smoked meat and the sausage and the slap your mama I put in there, it's plenty salty enough. That's what you want to do. You want to taste it as you're cooking and adjust your spices from there. My beans are done, and I've turned off the heat. Getting ready to start my rice, but look at that. That gravy's nice and thick. Those beans are tender. I'm gonna get the rice on. Finish that up. Plate it up. 4 cups of water boiling. I'm going to add in 2 cups of rice. Quick stir. I'm going to turn the heat down to simmer and cover for 20 minutes. Or until the water is absorbed and the rice is tender. So my rice is done and ready. So the only thing left for me to do is to plate this up. There you have it, everybody. The red beans and rice are done. The cornbread's done. It's plated up. I topped it with a little chive action, throw a little color in there, and now only thing left for me to do is to dig in. See you at the dinner table. Let's give this a little taste, shall we? I got my spoon. I'm ready to go. That is so good. And you know what happens next? I'm gonna have to finish this plate. So I wanna thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cooking with This Guy. I'll see you on the next one.